Hey everyone, I'm here today with another reading vlog. Today's reading vlog is going to cover Monday, actually no, I can briefly mention yesterday's also, it was Sunday to Saturday. I don't think I have anything that makes me want to change that. I am going to be reading a book, here's the newsflash, I'm going to be reading a book that I'm not going to talk about too much in this vlog because I'm actually planning to do a full spoiler-free review for this book. So if I can get my dates correct, this spoiler-free video will have gone up longer before this vlog. And yeah, I'm just so excited. Basically, out of nowhere this last weekend, I've kind of found my Booktube love back. I think the last year, possibly longer, I've felt a bit out of love with Booktube and just sort of didn't really have any inspiration, didn't really have any energy for it, no motivation, which has been partly due to the pandemic. A lot of people have had that problem. I haven't wanted to film sit-down videos in a long time, partly because that's difficult when I'm at work, but I've managed it before, so I can manage it again. And meanwhile, I was starting to fall out of love with doing so much vlogging, but at the same time, I didn't know what else I could do because I didn't want to do sit-downy videos, and so it all just became a sort of half-hearted mess, I suppose. So I've just been sat planning videos for all of April with my old upload schedule back of a video on a Tuesday, a Thursday and a Saturday, all at 6 p.m. We'll see whether this is sustainable once I'm back at work. On Tuesdays, I'm going to upload vlogs still, probably just mainly just weekly generic reading vlogs, although I might do the odd themed one with time. Thursdays, I'm going to do either reviews or recommendations. That takes a bit of the pressure off, so I'm not reading to review specifically. If I don't feel like I can read a book in time, I can do a recommendation video instead, and I think that will just help take the pressure off and might find that I'm doing more reviews as a result. I miss doing review videos. And then Saturdays, I will be doing TBRs. I'm coming to that. Hauls or tags. I feel like that keeps me pretty covered because hauls, I've got a lot of hauls to catch up on, so I won't need to do many tags in the meantime. TBRs, I haven't fully decided how that's going to work yet because I also want this reading vlog to be the first in my episode of Diary of a Mood Reader, because I am a mood reader and I've been taking that to the absolute limit and beyond today. Yesterday and today. I'm so motivated right now because, and I've got Aoife to thank for this. Sorry, something just happened outside then which totally put me off my flow. I don't have a clue where I'd got to at all. Talking mood reading and how that inspired me, and sorry for background noise. It's just gonna be one of those things. If I'm gonna be doing sit down videos, it's gonna be even more of a problem for me dodging. So may as well get used to it. So I found my biggest motivation the last couple of days has been to really embrace the mood reading. So I've been just, whenever I fancy a specific book, starting it. I might read one chapter of that book that I fancy, and then think of another book I fancy reading and start a chapter of that too. And I know this is not going to be remotely sustainable as a way of reading, but a couple of books in, I'm already feeling a bit more settled and will probably not be starting anymore until I finish some. So it is working out for me in that sense. I don't need to go that over the top with it. I'm also, with that, as I said earlier, this is something I need to think about, TBRs. So to make a TBR video, I feel like you need to be someone who can stick to a specific set of books. I can't. I can't. Now, that doesn't mean to say I don't have any reading plans though. So what I'm going to be doing is, for example, I've already made my April TBR. I'm going to be putting a selection of stuff on there. So, for example, I've been reading, averaged out, because March has been terrible for me, but averaged out, I've been reading 10 books a month this year. So I've given myself 16 books on April's TBR with the logic of I won't want to even read all of them, so I've got a bit of choice there. So I've broken this down and I'll probably stick to this idea, although I'll need to see how well it works to see whether I need to adjust it or not. But but I've broke this down into like different types of books. So I've put 10 Kindle books on there because the majority of my reading this year, and indeed in general, is on my Kindle. I've also popped 4 audiobooks on there with the idea of it usually takes me around a week-ish to listen to an audiobook. And then I've put 2 physical books on there because I do want to still get to my physical TBR, but it's also the smallest aspect of my TBR and the bit that I probably spend the least time reading because it's just not convenient. A Kindle is so much comfier to read with. I can read my Kindle in bed in all lighting and it's not a problem. My paperbacks and my hardbacks tend to be more of a sofa experience. And sometimes I'd rather read my Kindle when doing that too, but I'm going to try and get a couple in a month, I'm thinking. So I have put on 2 for the April, and I'm going to see how that goes and possibly adjust it future months. So yeah, I've been a busy bee today. I've planned my schedule out. I've planned my April TBR. I've planned an author recommendations video and a thriller tag video. Yeah, constructive day. I've also read, oh, I need to get onto the reading, don't I? So yeah, I've also read, we'll start with yesterday. So yesterday I had finished everything that I was currently reading Saturday, the whole lot. Hadn't got anything on the go Sunday, so I woke up and thought, okay, now's the time. I'm going to start reading You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes. I read the first chapter and thought, I'm not in the mood for this. Like, it's one of my most anticipated releases of the year. And I loved that first chapter, but I wasn't in the mood for it. So I embraced that. Thought, what am I in the mood to read? Assassin's Apprentice by Hobb. Okay. So I've read the first chapter of that too. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Went and did something else after doing that. Came back to You Love Me. Read the second chapter. Thought, yeah, I'm into this. But I don't want to read it right now. I want to read Assassin's Apprentice. So I was going to pick my Kindle up and start reading the second chapter, but then I got distracted by audiobooks. So then I started another new book, and I started an audiobook, which was, holy crap, I film on my phone so I can't look this up easily. Climate Justice by, I couldn't tell you, Mary Robinson. Have I made that up? I'm going to put the cover either side of me, whichever side it fits better, as I've put myself a bit central. But I'm going to put the book one side or the other of me. You will be able to see whether I've actually managed to remember that title correctly and that author correctly. Don't feel like I have. So I started listening to that. I did something else for a bit. And then I listened to the end of that and finished it. And my thoughts are as following. So it's not a book I would normally pick up on my own. I picked this book up for 2 reasons. First of all, it is an Irish author and it's still March when I'm filming this. So I thought, yep, this can be another participation book for the Irish readathon for me. So I picked up it partly for that. I also picked it up partly for the Booktube Bestie project. And when I've finished reading one of the people that I'm doing that for, you will be able to see what the end result of me reading that is for that. Needless to say, the actual book itself, I think it's the first non-fiction I've picked up this year, or the second. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think it's the first. And I thought it was absolutely great. As I said, it's not something I'd normally read, and I don't think I could have physically read it and flown through it in quite the way I did, but the audiobook just flowed really nicely. It wasn't narrated by the author, but it was narrated by someone else who was Irish. So it still felt quite authentic, and I just learned so much. Like, you hear so much about climate control and climate change and how you need to do this and how you need to do that, but you rarely see things unless you go looking into it in such a in-depth way, how it affects all different aspects of the world, which this book covered. There were chapters covering specific areas, specific people, one of which was a community of people who live mainly in Norway, Sweden and Finland. And I lived in Sweden for a bit and didn't even know that these people existed. And that's some severe ignorance on my part. But I have learned just so much from this book. And when you're learning from a book anyway, when you're reading a non-fiction, I feel like it's a very difficult book to rate. It's just It's not something you can easily do, but all the same, I thought this book deserved 5 stars from me. So yeah, 5-star read out the bag already at this stage in the vlog. This also led to me today reading that second chapter of Assassin's Apprentice and loved it, but had a heartbreaking moment. I mean, I'm only 2 chapters in and I've already been sad. Not to like crying point or anything, but I just really don't do well with animal abuse. It's one of my least favourite tropes in any kind of book. It just feels, I don't care what the author's point is, it feels pointless. It often has a point, and those times I can almost forgive it, but I just wish authors would do something else instead. I don't like it. So yeah, I read that. I also then started the audiobook of The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is another one I'm reading / listening to for the Booktube Bestie project. Scribd is just absolutely going to be getting me through the Booktube Bestie project audiobook side of things. It is proving to be really quite handy. And so, yay, that's you all up to date. I think I'm done planning for now, so I'm going to spend the next anywhere between 15 minutes and an hour till Luke gets home from work just reading You Love Me. Like to sit in the doorway. It's a nice sunny day today. We don't yet have garden furniture, so I've not really got anywhere to sit in the garden, but I could just sit at the patio doors and listen to all the noise outside and do some reading of You Love Me. So yeah, I'll catch you in a bit. Excuse that I have the same top on as yesterday. It's now Tuesday and I just wanted to wear this top again, so I thought, why not? The weather is beautiful. I've just got back in from a walk. Absolutely stunning weather. I've been listening to The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and what I will say so far is I think this book's suffering from a bit of a hype problem for me. I absolutely adored With the Fire on High, and so I was really expecting to love The Poet X too, and so far it's just not really making much of an impact on me, I suppose is the best way of putting it. It is the first time that I can think of anyway that I have read a novel in verse, and I would say that's probably having an effect, but I'm not sure how much of an effect it's having with listening to the audiobook version of it. That said, the audiobook is fantastic. It's wonderfully narrated. Elizabeth Acevedo narrates it herself. It's amazing. It's just not doing it for me, I suppose. I don't know. I don't yet care, I guess is the best way of putting it. I've listened to about an hour so far, so hopefully that changes soon. I've also read some more of You Love Me today, so that's going well. And yeah, I've just been hanging out outside with my mum because we're now allowed people in our garden. So my mum's been in our garden. We also went for a walk for a bit, enjoying the wonderful day. I now need to sit down and do some more reading of You Love Me because I just checked yesterday when it gets released, and its publication date in the UK is Thursday, and that's the day I also want the review up for, so that's worked out really well. But I am only like a quarter of the way through it right now, and it is Tuesday, so yeah, I should go and delve deeper into that now, I think. I have just finished The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I was a bit conflicted on what to rate it. I was torn between 4 and 5 stars because I absolutely adored it once I got into it, but I did struggle initially to get into the whole verse thing. And so that ultimately in the end led to me giving it 4 stars because I just don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as what I would have done if it had been told in a more traditional way. That said, I really enjoyed what the book actually did. I really enjoy her writing anyway. I think that she's got such a way with language. And don't get me wrong, the verse side of things worked incredibly well. I'm just not sure that novels written in verse are for me. So yeah, I'm really glad I read that. That's now 2 of her 3 novels down for me. I have got Clap When You Land, so hopefully I'll be picking that up sometime in the next couple of months too. I'm now going to start listening to Freshwater by Oweki Emezi from memory while I finish cleaning, because I've only got a little bit left to do, so I'll probably only get a chapter or so of that listened to, I'd probably have thought, but I'll get it started at least. Okay, I need to end this vlog. So it's, what day is it today? Easter's throwing me right off. Great, my watch is telling me to breathe, so I can't check the day. It's Wednesday today. Wow. So it's Wednesday today, and yeah, this vlog should have been ended like Saturday night. So to round up, I read some, whenever you last saw me, I read some Assassin's Apprentice that night. Another chapter or so, I think. Maybe 2 chapters. And I really enjoyed what I read. I'm starting to feel like I'm into it quite a bit. So hopefully I can read more of that in next week's vlog. Spoiler alert, it's currently Wednesday and I haven't even started next week's vlog or done much reading. So yeah, need to get better at updating at weekends is my takeaway from this. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me. And I will see you soon. Bye bye.